Friends, in a continuing series on misconducts, today I'm going to talk on go slow. What is go slow? Basically, to industries where the model standing orders are applicable, the misconduct is slowing down in the performance of work or abatement or instigation thereof. This is the misconduct. Now, what is slowing down in the performance of work? Basically, go slow is also considered as a form of a strike, and it is willful slowing down in the performance of work, or it is abatement thereof, that is willful slowing down, or it's the instigation thereof. Now you see, abatement and instigation, these words can be taken up as synonyms. So you abet something willfully. The union sometimes, I would not paint everybody with the same brush, but then some unions instigate their members to slow down the production. And once this happens, then the misconduct of slowing down in the performance of work that arises. Now, basically, what is go slow? First and foremost, as per the misconduct, go slow has to be willful. In order to be called as a misconduct, it has to be willful. Willful means on his own, the workman is indulging into it on his own volition, on without any outside support. So he is willfully doing it. An ordinary dictionary meaning we see that yes, he is doing it willfully. Go slow is also a form of a strike. And when we say strike, we have to see the definition of a strike. Strike, friends, as you understand, is defined in section 2Q of the Industrial Disputes Act 1947. Generally speaking, the definition is something like this: it is a cessation of work by a body of persons acting in combination or a concerted refusal under a common understanding. Now, generally, all these ingredients should be present. But the most important word is the cessation of work. The word cessation comes from the word to cease, and to cease means to stop. So there is a stoppage of work by a body of persons acting in combination, or there is a concerted refusal under a common understanding. If all the ingredients are present, then only there is a strike in the making. Okay, but here it is willful. Now, if you see two words, willful versus malingering. Malingering means pretending to be sick and that and all of those. Sometimes workers do it and then slow down the production. There is a deliberate delay on the part of the workmen to delay the production, delay the speed using dilatory tactics. It's a picturesque description of a strike. Go slow is a picturesque description of a strike wherein discontented and disgruntled workmen sometimes indulge into. They want to bring down, suppose sometimes there is a general agreement going on, the general demands are submitted, negotiations are going on. In order to be having a good price in the bargain, workers and their unions indulge into go slow. And then the management is at their mercy, increase the production. But what is this? This, in the words of the apex court, is a very pernicious practice, and it would not be far from calling it as dishonest. Why? I'll give you a simple example. On the screen, you see a table now. Look at the table. There is June, and then let's presume there is an industry which makes 1,000 pieces per month. So June, next column you see 1,000 pieces, and the third column is the wages which are paid to the workmen, that is 10,000 rupees. July, what is the production? 990. What is the pay packet? 10,000. August, what is the production? 995. What is the salary paid? That is 10,000. September, what is the production? Again it is 1,000. What is the salary paid? Again it is 10,000. October, what is the production? Only 200 pieces. But now you see the third column. In the third column, salary remains the same. And that is why this is dishonest. So as an employer, if the employer is paying the same salary for every month, his production has to be the same. But here you see there is a drop in production. From 1,000 pieces, it has traveled down to 200, and that is the workers are indulging into a go slow. It is a very serious misconduct, worse than outright strike itself. Because in a strike, at least there is stoppage of work. Here, everything moves at a snail's pace. and plus the employer, workers are entitled to full wages. Now, friends, you see, this is a very insidious method, and as per the apex court, it's not a legitimate method of a strike itself. Discipline is going to dogs, and no industry can survive if it does not uphold the norms of discipline, values of discipline. And what have the workers done? Workers are on a strike also, and they are not on a strike also at the same time. So this is very dishonest, and one has to just find out. That is why when departmental inquiries or charge sheets are issued, as far as workers are concerned, that he is indulging into a go slow, many a times issues come that I am ready to work but he is indulging into a go slow. So go slow sometimes is to be seen as a teamwork also. And if at all it is proved, I told you it's very, 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 very serious. For go slow, you have to always see a comparative index. Even in the table which you just now saw, I showed you a comparison between June, July, August, and October, and how the production went down. So always a comparison is to be seen. Then only you can prove a go slow. And moreover, let me tell you, friends, if at all a go slow is proved, according to the Supreme Court, the only answer is that it will be take a very serious turn, and the workmen who are indulging into this sort of a misconduct are liable for dismissal also. Now, friends, let us see some cases, some landmark cases. Say Vasant Madhavrao versus Gujarat Works, wherein the loss of the employer to the employer was so huge, and the courts also held this is a very serious misconduct, and the workmen who have indulged into it will be liable for a dismissal. In Firestone Tire and Rubber Company, it was held that this is a very insidious method. It indicates lack of spirit of and the lack of discipline also. It breeds indiscipline. Indiscipline is a very contagious disease. He does it, I have to do it. If I do it, we both do it, somebody else has to do it. What happens to the industry? One day it dies its own death, and that is why indiscipline cannot be tolerated at any cost. And then this is the mandate in this judgment, that is Firestone Tire and Rubber Company. Then in another case, Ashok Motors versus Workmen, here something was commented up by the court on the dishonesty element also. Go-slow is a less risky phenomena for the union. Again, I repeat, not all unions work this way. There are good unions. But some of the unions, unscrupulous unions who do it this way, it's a very less risky phenomena for them. They indulge into a go-slow, entitled to full wages, and do it with impunity. That is no fear of punishment also. Something that they cannot be caught at any point of time. And then all your documentation proving natural justice on the anvil of the Indian Evidence Act, that becomes a far cry. And that's why workers are doing it with impunity, some of them who do it. And then Karuna Sahu versus Mansoor is another landmark authority. In Karuna Sahu versus Mansoor, the court held that if at all this is proved, there will be no reinstatement. Ultimately, workers go to the court of law and ask what? Reinstatement, back wages, incidental benefits. But the mandate of the judgment is very clear. If at all they have indulged into a go slow, there will be no reinstatement itself. So the sharp words which I used, the feelings of the judge in those words have to be seen, because we cannot have an India, we cannot envisage an India which runs at the behest of workers, who make the employer fall at his mercy, and then discipline going to dogs, and they indulge into a go slow. Friends, slowing down, willful slowing down in the performance of work, even abetting it or instigating it, is a serious misconduct. Thank you, friends.